Our opening bout, David Diaz, at this stage of his career, now 35 years old, taking on Hammer and Hank Lundy. And there is Hammer and Hank, 27 years old. He's from Philly. He's always been an entertaining big talker. That didn't work out well last summer when he was leading on the scorecards, but eventually TKO'd by John Molina. He's 21-1 with 10 knockouts. And the last time we saw Hank, well, it was earlier this year on Friday Night Fights against Patrick Lopez. That fight taking place back in Foxwoods in Connecticut. And Hank would work his way to a 10-round decision. He was disciplined, he was fast, he was in and out, and he was steady.
Coming to us from Philadelphia.
And here is the hometown guy, born and raised nearby in Chicago. The only one of the 8 brothers and sisters not born in Mexico. Diaz now 35 years old, 5 years removed from his ascension to the WBC lightweight belt holder status. The notable fights for Diaz. You see many familiar names. Had the victory against Jesus Chavez as well as Eric Morales in 07. But in 08, Manny Pacquiao completely dismantled him. And you can hear a very nice reception here in Chicagoland for David Diaz.
U.S. Olympian and former WBC lightweight champion of the world, David Diaz.
Well, from a former champ to the current champ, let's bring in the super middleweight champion of the world, Andre Ward, who's ringside with us tonight as it's time to see how the fighters will keep their edge. Brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Andre.
Tonight, David Diaz needs to be himself. He needs to be the pressure fighter, the durable fighter that he's always been, and try to take Hank Lundy into the late rounds to see how he holds up. Hank Lundy needs to maintain distance, keep his range, and try to dictate the pace at all times, and most importantly, fight a disciplined fight for the full duration of the fight.
So they are scheduled for 10.
A good, clean, professional fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands, touch him up. Good luck.
Gerald Scott, the referee for Lundy and Diaz. For Diaz, the second fight of 2011, but not so much activity in recent years. Just one fight in 09, the one fight in 2010. Andre, give me something to look for early on here in terms of the pace and tone of this fight.
There you go.
Well, like you just mentioned, Diaz in the last 3 years, he's had some extremely long layoffs. It remains to be seen if that's going to affect him here tonight. But right in the offset, it's just going to matter of who's going to take control, who wants to dictate the pace. And we'll see that right here on the onset in this first round.
Hank Lundy, a 4-year pro. Had a dominating win on Friday Night Fights in April 2010 that set up what would be his first career loss in July 2010 when John Molina TKO'd him.
It doesn't really mean a whole lot, but Diaz is a lot bigger, it looks like. A lot wider, I guess, than Hank Lundy here tonight.
Both guys came in right at 134 and a nugget.
Both fighters look real relaxed at the moment.
See Lundy popping that jab off the hip. After all that talk, Andre, last year, time and time again, we'd walk into our fighter meetings with Hank Lundy, and I mean, it was a comedy routine. He did dial things back. He did get the sense that, hey, I know what it means to be a pro now. A lot of guys say that after their first loss. Like they have the realization of what it means to be a more matured pro.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Exactly. It's that humbling experience, right?
Especially the way Lundy lost. He got stopped. And for a fighter, most fighters are proud fighters. They don't want to lose and they don't want to get stopped, especially when they're undefeated and they're highly touted. So I think that loss was good for Hammer and Hank. And let's see how these next, few years, how it affects them.
Combination moments ago from Hammer and Hank, showing you a glimpse of that hand speed and scoring. Diaz comes forward. And able to get off the ropes and turn away from that.
Not a lot of hard shots from either guy. Looks like both guys, good shot from Lundy.
Yeah, tried to time him as he came in with that left uppercut.
It just looked like they're trying to establish range at the moment. Got to say, Lundy looks the sharper of the two.
Good speed by Lundy, always exhibited. Remember, he was ahead on the scorecards in that fight against Molina when it was a right hand that came crashing home. Start of what we expect to be a good-looking Friday night fight card with Diaz and Lundy. More to come. Hank Lundy coming out for round 2. He was raised in Philly by a single mom who Hank will openly discuss the fact that she suffered from a mental illness, and he's very thankful for his aunt and uncle for playing such a major role in his upbringing. Now he's continuing to develop as an emerging pro prospect here. 27 years old, 20 wins, that 1 loss. David Diaz, of course, a few years removed from what most consider his prime. He was a titleist. Was in with Morales and Pacquiao and the like.
I really like the way Lundy looks poised right now. He doesn't look shell-shocked. He doesn't look like he's uncomfortable being in there with a former champ. He looks right at home right now.
See those moments where Diaz wants to try to make this rugged on the inside.
And he's going to have
those landed moments. A pretty good body shot in the midst of it. And there's a right uppercut by David Diaz as he targets that belt line at all. And now they trade. In the red corner, they start to trade here a minute into round 2.
Diaz said he wanted to be more defensive, and that's what he's been working on. I think he threw that out the window just now.
No doubt. You know, we had that discussion at breakfast this morning. When you're a veteran guy and you're 35 years old, you can talk about the fact that, hey, I'm working on this, I'm working on that. But when you get back in there and a fight breaks out and you're in against a talented kid like this, you're going to be what you've always been.
You're going to, and you have to do what's been working over the years, and that's what we mentioned in our keys to victory. David Diaz has to do what he's been doing all these years, and it seems to be working right now against Hank Lundy. Hank looks a little uncomfortable once Diaz started to step on the gas.
Tried to time a left hand again, did Lundy. Well, Hank was willing to fight Diaz's fight there in that opening minute of round 2, and you could see how comfortable Diaz was with that.
Lundy wants range. Diaz needs to get inside those long arms of Lundy. That's the key to this fight for both fighters.
There's that southpaw jab now from Diaz. Lundy pops it off the hip as well, finding that range and having some success when he does.
War of the jabs right now.
Left hand by Lundy was just glancing. Tried to time that left again. He's looking for it. Looking to counter that jab of Diaz with the left hand is Lundy. Pretty intriguing opener here on Friday Night Fights as he scores there, coming to the end of round number 2, and there goes Lundy.
Great here by Hank Lundy. He's looking to time Diaz. He's watching, bam, straight left down the pipe, and that hurt Diaz toward the end of round 2.
Is that something that you see as an opportunity that will continue to exist for Lundy?
Well, being that we have 2 southpaws here, that's a great shot for Lundy. It's a natural shot for 2 southpaws. It comes right down the pipe, and as you've seen, if he continues to throw that, it could be very effective down the stretch.
21-6 connect advantage in that last round for Hammer and Hank, according to CompuBox. Sitting back, waiting, timing.
Lundy's looking real sharp at the moment. Diaz looks a little unsure. Even though he's mixing it up, he still looks a little unsure. And I think that's due to the rust over the last 3 years. Gotta love Lundy's confidence.
He's got tons of it. He gave us a look at firing off that right hook that time as Diaz came forward. Now he switches orthodox for a moment. And you see that up jab coming off the left side, that power right hand. You surprised by this, Andre?
Not at all. Not at all. You know, it's one thing to get beat from one side. When a guy switch hits on you and starts beating you from the other side, that's just discouraging. I'm not surprised that I see a little rust on Diaz. I don't care who you are. If you don't practice your craft consistently, you're going to have ring rust. And that's what we're seeing right now. Diaz is a little unsure. Lundy's been consistent. He's been fighting, and he looks more relaxed.
Diaz was always a hard-working, overachiever type. Fought consistently from his pro debut in '96 right through to the top. And he claimed a title, then had the fight with Pacquiao in '08. And since then, the one fight in 2009, the one fight in 2010. Won a majority decision against Rob Frankel back in January, and then back in here against a young, fast prospect in Lundy. Crowd reacts to that.
Lundy's got both hands down right now, just daring Diaz to throw. He's that confident.
Timing things well, has the speed advantage. Look at that left hand. Down there, mid-thigh.
And I don't think Hank is being sloppy right now like
No.
he was in the Molina fight. I think this is just pure confidence. He's timed and counterpunched Diaz all night. He's in the zone.
And he's staying far away enough where he's actually safe and just waiting for Diaz to come forward and seeing if he can land that right hand from this orthodox position that he switched to. Vince Vaughn, famed actor, ringside for Friday Night Fights. He's going to be joining us in a moment. And there is Andre, the greatest athlete of the modern generation of sports.
Got nothing but
Vincent
respect for Bo Jackson.
Bo
Nothing
Jackson.
but respect.
Had a nice visit with Bo before we went on the air tonight. He said he was with Mike Tyson a couple weeks ago. That's an interesting combination. Round number 4. Joe Tessitore alongside the super middleweight champion of the world, Andre Ward. Diaz and Lundy, entertaining scrap to get the night started.
Oh, my goodness. Lundy is looking really good right now.
He's looking sharp. He's got the speed advantage, Andre. Oh, he tried to catch him with an uppercut, and instead it's Diaz who lands a big shot on Hank Lundy, and just like that, the fight turns. Look at this all-out assault by the former champ. One of Chicago's favorite native sons on the attack against the young prospect. A right hand raise in. Diaz, another headshot comes in. He's looking for the stoppage here.
Step back.
A lot of time to work with. A cut over the right eye of Diaz, but he's headhunting time and time again.
Lundy needs to hold right now if he's going to survive.
He needs to clinch and wrap up. That is a bad gash around the right eye of Diaz. Left hand reined in.
Another
body
good
shot
from
comes
Diaz.
in. Huge round by David Diaz. All on the line here at this stage of his career. He's got to get after it. Another chopping right hand. Shoulder to shoulder against the ropes.
Diaz is landing some heavy, heavy shots right now.
And Lundy is trying to trade with him instead of clinching. He lands a left hand of his own. What a round here. Oh, a big right hand comes in from Hammer and Hank. And now Diaz, he's the one tying up. Did he punch himself out there?
Both men are a little tired right now, but Diaz is still looking for the knockout. He's a veteran, and he's been in this position before. 2 more big shots from Diaz. He needs to give himself a little room so he doesn't smother his shots, so he can get 1 or 2 good shots in on Lundy to see how he reacts.
Break, step back, step back.
Long range left time by Diaz, and there's another left hand that comes from far away. What a round. Unbelievable action in round number 4. Let's show you how it went down as this crowd erupts here at the Horseshoe Casino. Here's what started it all.
Deja vu for Hank Lundy again. He's in control, gets hit with a big shot, down he goes.
Another look at Diaz's moment to shine.
Leaps in with the right hook, hits Lundy right on the temple. Great shot from David Diaz.
And then headshot after headshot. What perfect timing by one of the best comedic actors of our generation, Vince Vaughn, to join us ringside.
Right, pleasure to be with you guys.
and Andre Ward.
How about that? I apologize to Lundy and the fans. I didn't make the weight under 140, so he had to fill in for me. He might have needed a little more prep time, it looks like here. But what a great round that was. Now, was that from a headbutt? What do you think happened there to Diaz?
I didn't see where how it happened, did you?
There was so much action with all the flurries on the inside. All of a sudden, you looked up. The next thing you know, he has the cut. We will find out ringside here if it was a clash.
But it didn't look like it was there prior to the knockdown.
I think it was a clash of heads. Diaz was pretty close on Lundy there, but Diaz has a history of cuts, a lot of scar tissue up there, so that's not a shocker to see him cut right now.
And we got the official word from the ringside commission that cut was caused by a punch. So Vince Vaughn joining us ringside for this thriller, our opening bout on Friday Night Fights.
Great fight. Great to be here.
Vince, what is it about the fight game? So many in Hollywood are attracted to it. Some of the best movies of all time, boxing related. But what is it about the fight game that attracts guys like you?
You just have to have so much respect for these guys for putting it on the line and getting out there. There's no script. You know, they work hard, they prepare. They come out here against another man. It's just exciting to watch these guys put their heart and soul on the line.
Lundy tries to work off that jab now. Still in that orthodox position against the southpaw Diaz. He will switch it. And look at the blood now raining down the side of the face of Diaz as he's sent off balance, and that gash has opened up even worse.
He might have trouble seeing what it looks like.
That is a dangerous cut, and remember, it was caused by a punch, so if this fight stops, it's over. A TKO for Lundy as Diaz continues to fight on.
That's a nasty cut.
That is nasty.
But again, Diaz has a history of cuts. There's a lot of scar tissue built up around those eyes, so it doesn't take much to open a cut up on David Diaz.
This is the 5th straight fight that David Diaz has been cut. And this fight is in jeopardy to continue with what's over his right eye.
You can feel the tension here. They're both throwing bombs. This thing could end any minute.
Any minute.
Look at how much worse that cut is, Vince. And an uppercut lands, a big uppercut, and then a series that included a left hand to the head by Lundy.
Great combination by left hand.
That right eye is just pumping blood out. You can see it streaming out every time he takes a step forward. Hard to believe that Gerald Scott is not pausing this fight to let the doctors get a good look at that right eye. I think this fight's going to end right here.
I believe so.
Michael Foriant is the ringside position. I'd be shocked if he lets it continue. Let's listen in.
What do you want to do with this?
It's a bad cut. It's interfering with his vision.
Yeah, I know. You got any way you can, they got any way to slow that shit? He's got a goddamn, they can stop that. You see? You go to this round, I'll see you in a moment. Okay,
After this round up.
They're going to let it go.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Got to respect his heart.
Diaz fights on. He's got to go for broke. They're giving him this round. Crowd on its feet. The hometown hero trying to pull one out here.
At the casino here tonight.
Diaz has got to press. He's only got a little time left with that cut. They may give his corner some time to try to stop it, but it's not going to last long. They're not going to be able to stop that cut tonight.
Break. Step back.
Gotta like Diaz's response there.
Wow. Well, Vince, we tried to welcome you in and just kind of have
what
some
a great
chat,
fight. That was unbelievable. You kidding me? A terrific fight, and you got to really respect Diaz for the way he responded to the talk with the doctor there.
I mean,
Came out
pure
swinging.
guts right here.
Yeah, big time.
Andre Ward, let's go back and look at that uppercut from the last round.
Hank Lundy getting in position, waiting for Diaz to throw. Beautiful left uppercut. Tried to bring the right hook, but missed it, but landed the straight left. Great combination.
And then Diaz with the blood streaming down the entire side of his face with a bit of a comeback against Lundy. I know you played a lot of Fight Night in the movie The Breakup.
That's right.
This is the real deal.
Boy, this is the real deal. And I'm telling you, both these guys, and for Diaz to respond the way he did when the doctor said that he's in jeopardy of losing it, to come out and put it out there like that, what a great fight.
You've got a connection to the fight game.
I got a guy, a couple fighters out of Los Angeles that I've been kind of rooting for and supporting. One of them fight tonight, Yakubu. But this is a great fight right here.
It is Yakubu Amido from Ghana. Possibly we may see him a little later on. But for now, round number 6. Vince, pleasure visiting with you.
Such a pleasure. Really appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for having me, Andre. Continue success.
Good
You're a
meeting you,
pleasure to watch.
Enjoy the rest of this one while it lasts.
I definitely will. Enjoy it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Vince Vaughn. Oh, Diaz is down and maybe out. It is over. A 6th round knockout by hammering Hank Lundy. And he brought the hammer every which way.
Okay. Take it easy. What's the time? KO. I'll find out.
37 seconds.
Just an all-action war comes to an end with a thud.
With the blood in Diaz's eyes, blurring his vision just a tad, and Lundy just lands a perfect shot right on the chin. And we talked about this earlier about 2 left-handers and how the straight left is right down the pipe. It's an easy shot for Lundy to land, especially when a guy has blood in his eyes. And then out goes Diaz.
In Ultra Mo, watch the left hand. Look at that blood splatter. And the face just cave in on the former champ. Real time. What a blast. And what a fight.
That's it, Dave. That's it.
In a year
That's it, Dave.
of Friday night fights that has had one memorable moment after the other, a year that has included what many say is the front runner for Fight of the Year, we go blood, guts, and knockout with back and forth action to start our season finale. Hammering Hank Lundy with an emphatic statement, a knockout victory over David Diaz. And for the official particulars, we send it up to the ring to Hammond, Indiana's own Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 37 seconds of round number 6. Your winner by way of technical knockout and still the NABF lightweight champion, hammering Hank Lundy.
I think we need to invite Vince Vaughn to sit ringside more often if that's what he's going to bring about. Good effort by Diaz to fight through that bloody mess of a right eye. But this ended it all. Huge shot by David Diaz. Great stuff, BK, wasn't it?